Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Yes, my podcast for today is canceled. I'm just doing a review, but it's Black Power Month, so let's continue where we left off. This one is a 1996 action crime thriller starring Steven Seagal, and the black lead here is Keenan Ivory Wayans, not Keegan Michael Key. That's somebody different. I never reviewed this for some reason. It probably slipped my radar. So let's review it finally. The Glimmer Man. An underrated action movie. I know a lot of people say this movie's horrible. It was the start of Seagal's decline, but I think it's an underrated film. There's no synopsis on the back because it's just a bunch of blurbs on the back. So let's review the synopsis on here. I think it's a very underrated movie. It's an R-rated movie, so it's not PG-13. It has to do with a cult leader, so it's something different. It's not like just Seagal beating up somebody on a boat or on a train or inside of a church or something. It's a buddy cop movie, and those are big in the 90s. You had Rush Hour, the Lethal Weapon sequels. You had this movie. You had, what else? I know there was another one. I know, I would say Last Action Hero, but that's more of a parody of a buddy cop movie. This movie came out in October 4th of 96. I was 11 when it came out. And directed by John Gray. Who's John Gray? He did television. He created the show Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt. What else has he done? He directed some 80s films. Born to Be Wild. Remember that movie? White Irish Drinkers. A bunch of short films. Yeah, he's mostly done a lot of short films, but he did a good job here. At least the action is fluid. The movie bombed because, again, Seagal, action films don't do well in the fall usually. Unless you're John Wick or a DC movie or Marvel movie, usually don't do well. It cost $45 million and made $39 million. Wow, that's bad. It's not the worst though, considering Seagal's recent films where he's fat and he can't do anything. At least here he's not dubbed over. He doesn't have a bunch of stunt doubles doing everything for him, and he can throw a fist or two. It has other people in the cast. You got Bob Gunton, Brian Cox, and Michelle Johnson. And the film is only 91 minutes. So if you're looking for a short action movie that's not going to cost a lot of your time, this is it. This is the synopsis, a short version. Seagal plays Lieutenant Jack Cole, a former government intelligence agent known as the Glimmer Man, who now works as a detective with the Los Angeles Police Department. Wayans co-stars as Cole's partner, Detective Jim Campbell. And they're looking for this man that's doing these brutal murders around the city of Los Angeles. So it is what it is, and you've seen this kind of plot done before, but it's not that bad. And I don't know why the critics were all over this movie. Richard Gant is in it. Alexa Vega in one of her early roles. This is before she did Spy Kids. You have a bunch of Asians, Mr. and Mrs. Lee. You have Johnny Strong as Johnny DeVaro. Is that a wrestler or something? There's a composer and a musician. And the film is very violent. Like, this is one of the most violent Seagal movies after the early 90s. And it doesn't pull its punches. If you've seen Untraceable, you'll know how violent it is. And the film got mostly negative reviews from critics. I don't care about critics. When I see Ant-Man tomorrow, I'm not going to care what they think. It says, short on suspense, routine in its action, and monotonous in its performance. This movie opened yesterday without benefit of press screening. Usually a sign that the distributors have detected cinematic rigor mortis before audiences formally withdraw such life support systems as tickets, popcorn, and the glucose drip of spills of Coke. That doesn't make any sense because the movie's actually pretty badass, and it's not 2.5 hours long. It's not a Guy Ritchie movie where it takes too long to get going, or a freaking Olivia Megaton movie on Netflix that's over 2.5 hours. No, it doesn't drag ass. This movie gets right to the point. They said, for a rock'em sock'em action thriller, The Glimmer Man is a hopelessly slow-moving, slow-witted, shaggy dog tale that delivers the jolts but lacks the juice necessary for high-voltage action. Again, it's not that bad. It's not supposed to be a comedy. This is not an action comedy. This is an action... Oh, actually, this is an action comedy, but it's not like a slapstick action comedy. This is not Let's Be Cops. This is mostly taken seriously. People thought it was going to be like... Seagal is not a comedian. We already know that. Him being fat and doing this in a video, that's already laughable. But Keenan Ivory Wayans does well here. He can act. He's not doing a stupid accent. He like Mos Def when he's talking like this. That was too much. In 16 blocks, I just couldn't stand Mos Def in that movie because of the way he talks. Here, it works. It's not forced down your throat. He's not a stereotype. He's very well spoken. He's likable, and that's good enough for me. Considering the black comedians I had to sit through in this decade and in the last one, he's fine. He's subtle. Seagal's the one that has to do the ass kicking. That's it. You got two guys I like, and yeah. And the serial killer's name is The Family Man, yeah. And it is what it is. It's got a good score. It's shot well, considering that, a lot of Seagal's early stuff from 88 to 96 are watchable. I know Josh is like, oh, he's kind of an asshole now, but he's fat. Seagal's fat now. What do you want from me? He's fatter than me, and I can at least move. But his early stuff is actually really entertaining. It's not like he pulled an Ezra Miller or anything. But anyway, if you've never seen The Glimmer Man, you can stream it. It's available on streaming. It's not very hard to find. This is what the poster looks like. It's a very underrated movie. I don't think it's that bad. Decent performances, good action, short. That's all I want. Is there any good female character in the movie? The female actress is there. I don't remember her too much, but she serves a purpose. Michelle Johnson. Let me see who she is. What she looks like. I don't have to just watch action movie for chicks. Sometimes I want to watch just some badass action, good one-liners, and a sense of humor. Because God knows I need it after what I've been through this year so far. Yeah, she's a cutie. This is Michelle Johnson. Also, Steven Tobolowsky's in it as Christopher May something. He's in The Goldbergs. Yeah, she's cute. She was in I know I've seen her before. She was in Death Becomes Her. I haven't seen that. Blame It on Rio. Her last movie was a movie called Holiday Spectacular. Yeah. She's a cutie because I don't always have to see that. John Carpenter's The Thing doesn't have any women in it, and it's fine. It's a classic for a reason. Wishful Thinking, I think that's what I saw her in. Tales from the Crypt. Waxwork, I saw her in that as well. The first Waxwork. She's done some good work. This is what she looks like. You see her? She's a cutie. It's hard to do it but anyway, I think the movie's underrated. Check for yourself to see if you like it and get back to me. I think it's worth your time. It's not a slog to get through. It's a little slow in the beginning, but when the action kicks in, it does it well, really well. So, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you. My next review will be tomorrow for Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. No spoilers, so don't spoil it either tomorrow. On social media, I'll be off social media tomorrow, so take it easy, guys.